Dari, as you can see, we are in the study in England, and I'm still in a festive mood. I'm here with my very, very able helper, who's had a long suffering 2 days, as have I, because we're going to do the Blink 2 Mini review. Now, as you're about to hear, things have not gone smoothly, and I've got a Blink camera, I've got the USB-C lead, and I've got the Sync 2 unit with my USB card in it, and the again, oh no, actually it's not USB-C, it's a micro USB power lead. So the summary is that in the UK, the Blink 2 Mini provides a entry-level smart home camera solution, and it's only about £17 from Amazon. As I said earlier, I'd hoped that this would be a worthy replacement to the Neos camera system that we use as a backup in our home. So right from the outset, I'm going to say that if you're paying £20 a camera for your smart home camera system or a security camera system, I think you should think again. These cameras, which, like I say, are under £20 per camera from Amazon, should be regarded as a kind of entry-level solution, or in our case, it's a backup solution. So we have a more professional solution, which is based on Reolink, in fact. And this is purely a secondary camera system that we have on the odd occasions where, for some reason, we can't get through to our Reolink cameras. And we've got a VPN, and we can get through to the local LAN if the Reolink cloud network is down, and we have other security systems around. But we always think it's worth having a backup. I mean, worked in enterprise systems, always have a backup. That's the motto. So this is a kind of entry-level system. You might want to use this system if you've got no experience with home camera systems. You want something cheap, and you want to get started. And our Neos camera systems, as is well publicised, have stopped working last November. So this is our backup camera system replacement. So with that said, what's wrong? And what's wrong is that although on paper this looked like a fine camera system, in practice it's been flipping useless. So if you want the summary, you can stop recording or watching in a second and say, this is one of the worst camera systems I've seen in a while, basically because it just doesn't work properly. So if you're happy with that, stop now, and you might see I've got another system here which I'm looking at, which is a Tapo 2K indoor security camera system. So that will be a review which is coming up of a system that actually does work. Anyway, let's go to the review that I'm writing, and let's see what I'm going to put in the review so you can see more detail. We're just going to walk through the review and see what I'm about to say, because it's not rocket science, as they say. So here we go. There's a picture of my setup, separate activity. I've got my Reolink camera. I've got the this Blink Mini 2 camera, and I've got another camera made by Tapo, which is actually TP-Link. So Tapo is a TP-Link brand. So what did I hope I was going to like about this camera? The first thing is the price. The price is under 20 GBP per camera. And we had 6 Neos cameras, so if I was to replace it on a like-for-like basis, the outgoing would be under £150, which is not too much, given that Reolink camera solution is about at least, I'd say, £50 per camera. So Reolink solution would be 6 cameras times 50 is at least £300. Plus, if it's a PoE solution, you need the PoE power injectors, and that's like another £10 per camera. So significantly cheaper than a more professional setup, if you like. What I'd hoped to like also was the fact that the camera doesn't have any USB storage, and the idea is that although they want you to buy a subscription, instead of buying, or as well as buying a subscription, you can have this local box called a Sync 2 device, and that Sync 2 device can provide you with local. So you buy the Sync 2 device, doesn't come with any storage, but you put in your own USB key. So that's what I did in the testing. And it's got this clever base which you can just flip this bit up here and you can put the screws in, and that's all very fancy. I showed you all this in the unboxing. So I'd hope to like all of those things, and because it's a USB-C powered device, I don't actually even need to use the power adapter that's supplied. I could even have that as a spare power adapter for other things, like an entry-level Raspberry Pi or just another USB. I could reuse the 7.5 watt adapter somewhere else. So I thought, great, it's all going to work perfectly. Doesn't work. Anyway, next thing is subscription pricing. So what they really want you to do is to go for a subscription, and as you can see, the cost of the subscription is absolutely mega. So we had 6 cameras, and if we were to replace those, we'd have to go for the multi-camera setup, and you can see for yourself the price is just out of this world. But actually, I've done some research, and other camera brands have got similar pricing schemes, which is probably why Neo's gone out of business, because all of this was provided free. Okay. So far, let's go ahead and see what I saw and some of the problems. Firstly, the smartphone app that controls the Blink cameras is very basic compared with other products, and it doesn't provide all the features. I'm going to list at the bottom some of the features that some other products provide. The camera itself has motion detection, so you have the camera switched on and you say, if there's motion, then would you record for a number of seconds, and you specify that number of seconds. The problem is it's very laggy. So when motion is detected, or when I came into a room, initially no motion is detected, and by the time it starts to record, the motion could have finished. So for some reason there's a delay in it responding to the fact that there is motion and it's starting its recording. So that's basically almost rules it out straight away. The second thing I noticed is that you can tell it how many seconds to record for and how many seconds to wait before re-triggering the camera. So it's 2 different settings. Very good. The trouble is that I set it, for example, to 15 seconds and I got a recording of 4 seconds. And there's another option, by the way, which says if the motion stops within that band of recording that you've asked for, then stop recording. But that's switched off. But for example, the recordings that I got not only were laggy, but they weren't always the right length. So again, not very impressed. Second thing was the camera does come with an LED. Now it's got infrared, so it doesn't need to use that per se. It can do recording in pitch darkness. However, it's great that it has that LED. Potentially, if you were using it as an external camera, this would be a great advantage compared to another camera which doesn't have that facility. But I can't reliably switch on that LED. You'll see I've got an error message below. So when you want to switch the LED on, it doesn't always switch on. When you are looking at the videos that have been recorded, one of them I haven't put this in. So when you deleting this, so when a video is recorded to sync to, no thumbnails are present. So when motion is detected, you tell it to record, and it records this local storage card called this, which is the USB on your Sync 2 device. So that's connected on the Wi-Fi separately to the Blink 2 camera. And it doesn't show you thumbnails. So you end up with, if you've got one camera, you know they're all from the same camera. It doesn't name the camera, but you can't see a thumbnail of the activity that's been recorded, which is a right and utter pain. It doesn't sound like it's a problem, but on another cheap camera, which I've just bought as another test camera, it shows it. If you've got a real link, it shows it. Why they don't show the thumbnails, I really don't know. It could inquire from the storage device here and just produce a thumbnail. It chooses not to do that. I think the real reason it wants you is because it wants you to buy the subscription, the cloud subscription, which, as we've discussed, is expensive. When I'm trying to delete videos, I often get command failed to complete errors. So that's obviously another kind of bug or unaccepted situation. And by the way, I am about 2 meters or less from a very powerful 2.4 gigahertz completely custom configured router, which is broadcasting, and it's at least 60 megabits per second connection speed, at least. So on the 2.4 gigahertz network. So there's no excuse, and very low latency, by the way. We're literally centimeters, we're not even a meter away from that router. And no other camera has a problem doing this kind of recording. So I can't imagine it is the fault of our networking equipment. I can only assume it's a fault of these two units. You're supposed to be able to link the Blink unit to Alexa. Now, strangely, I thought when you sign up, you have to sign up with a separate Blink user ID and password. You're not signing it with your Amazon account, which is strange because Amazon have bought Blink, but maybe it's a hangover from when they were separate companies. And you still need a Blink user ID and a Blink password. And then you press a button on the app to link your Blink account into the Amazon subsystem. Now, when I then tried to use the A-Lady to say, show me Blink Study, because that's what I called it, the only thing my device would show me, my Amazon device would show me, was videos, films called Blink. So I renamed it to Cam Study. And when you rename it in the Alexa app, it actually shows you the command that you can use to display the video stream on your device, on your Amazon device. And when I asked it to say, show me Cam Study, this doesn't work. So it's possibly my misconfiguration. What I'm saying is the link to Amazon is certainly not straightforward. And I've done it many times with many other cameras. For some reason, this isn't working. I'd have to spend more time looking at it. The next thing, which was a complete disaster, maybe I've got a bad unit, is that the speaker is supposed to have two-way audio. So it's got a microphone and a speaker on this device. And from your smartphone somewhere else, you can talk into it and have the speaker output on this device. And I really don't know if there's something wrong with this camera, but it's so inaudible that I have to have the camera has to be literally within a few centimeters for me to be able to hear anything. So I have no idea what's going on there. Oh, I've put about the thumbnails here. Recorded videos have no thumbnails. Let's see, I did have it already. Okay, get rid of that. Oh yeah, I've got pictures of some of the error messages that kept on coming up as on my smartphone. I'm looking at the clip list of local storage, and it often doesn't show anything. And again, I've got a very high-speed phone, and I'm very uncongested 2.4 gigahertz network. It's just not working. Yeah, I can't switch the lights on as I've shown, and trying to look at the clips, it says the system's busy. I don't know what's busy. It's a local activity store. It's a local Blink camera. I don't know what's busy. And yeah, I'm trying to show here that I had a 4-second clip that's been recorded, but I've asked for 15 seconds. And I've just came back, and I've just had a clip backup has failed. Well, I don't know what's backing up to what. Now, we're not subscribed to the cloud plan, so I don't know where it's going to back up. I just got a message that something had failed. What are the good things? Well, I think the only good thing I would say is that the sync module does what it says, in the sense that that sync module is supposed to store the recordings from all the Blink cameras that you've got, and it stores it on your USB key, so you can sort of save money, because many cameras have got their own micro SD storage. And here, potentially, you just buy one Sync 2 unit and one USB key. But the problem is that it just doesn't work. Oh dear. Right, where are we? Yeah, I did know. I just compared it to another very inexpensive camera range, and I did notice some of the things the other camera can do, which is you can tailor the screen of the recording so that when you're looking at the recording, you can see the name of the camera, the exact time, the camera name, and that's kind of imprinted onto the video recording. So when you're playing something back, you can choose what you see, what you've had pre-programmed, and you can't do that in this case, not flexible enough. You can also, on this other system I'm just looking at, you can display the data rate of the bits per second that you're actually making connection to the camera, and that gives you some good feeling as to what your data speed is. Also, you can many other systems have got the ability to change the video recording that's being made, and it tells you how many frames per second you want, what number of pixels you want, and then separately you can say, when I'm looking at a video recording that's been made, or a live recording, what resolution am I looking at? Okay, so for example, if you're out in a low internet speed area, from your smartphone you choose a low resolution setting to look at the video that's being recorded, even though the video that is being recorded to the local SD card or this Blink 2 is being recorded at high resolution. And then later on, when you're home and you've got a LAN connection, you can look at it with more resolution. Another thing this has no intention of providing is geofencing. So another competitive camera, you can say, when I leave this GPS area, this geofenced area, then do this action, or if this, then this, do that, etc., etc. There's no pretense that that's available on this entry-level camera. And finally, the ability to remotely reboot the camera. If you think, well, the camera's misbehaving itself, maybe a remote reboot would help. That's always a good first-line PD. So that's not available on the Blink Mini 2 camera. So overall, don't buy this camera. Definitely don't buy this camera. I had high hopes of the camera working as a camera, and don't buy it, not just because it's lack of facilities, but basically because it just doesn't do the job of a motion sensitive security camera. It just doesn't work properly. And with that, you now know everything. Thank you so much for watching.